Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Leo. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your third week of March 2021. However, quick reminder for all y'all, this video as well, we're going to be talking about astrology that is with us for more than just 1 week. So just, keep that in mind. The cards will be talking about this week, but the astrology is talking about this week and beyond. And that's because we're going to be talking about this new moon that is actually occurring the 11th of March, but actually influences in its primary window, its primary gateway. It opens between the 11th and the 25th. So we've got a powerful, powerful series of shifts coming on here. Now, this new moon is occurring in conjunction with Neptune and Venus. And so we've got this powerful new beginning that is actually opening up a beautiful opportunity to experience a fantasy, a dream, or an ideal that you have kept maybe in your own head, in your own desires, in your, it's something that we've not really been able to fully engage or fulfill on the physical. And so there's this there's like a division of worlds and a merging of worlds occurring at the same time. And with this new moon conjunct Neptune with Venus there, we're also seeing the support come for that, whether it's people power, material power, attraction, magnetism. This is all going to be opening up a completely new era for you. But this is happening in your 8th house, which is, of course, shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy, self-generated income. And it's an area that's about transition, transmutation. So we're seeing a lot of deaths also going on. Deaths in the sense of transition, right? The ending of a lot of eras, right? The opening of the transition into new worlds and the end and dropping off and division from old worlds. And so over the course of this next few weeks, you're going to be finding that whether it's through, big material gains or maybe social connections or maybe transitions going on in your work as it relates to your vocation, your field, there's going to be an enormous amount of assistance actually creating the perfect avenue, the perfect platform, and the perfect life to actually realize a deeply treasured ideal or fantasy. When I say deeply treasured, this does also feel like it's something that goes back in time a little bit. Not you going back in time, but something that you have held on to for a very long time, something that you've always wanted to create for yourself, your true self, right? And if you don't know your own heart, you don't know who you are, maybe think back to, what it is that you want to be and bring forth into the world. We're going through a massive shift this next couple of weeks, the elimination of the conditioned adult self. A lot of these dreams and aspirations are, have nothing to do with even the last, 5, 6, 7 years. And so you're going to really want to dig deep and reach in and really know thine own heart. Because with all of this extra resource coming your way, all these extra resources, all of these extra connections coming in, they are coming in and they resonate with a part of you that has not had its chance to have its day in the sun. And now it's all coming out. As we get on to your spiritual themes, right, with your cards. By the way, I do want to mention that those who actually engage astrology and tarot and take action and, spiritually and physically work with it, This does not have to be just a 2-week thing. Okay, the difference between somebody who is a master and a consumer is one who makes it their reality and goes forward and transmutes everything and brings it forth into being, and one who just kind of lets it come and go. You know which one I'm supporting right now. As we get on to your cards, you do have for your spiritual theme of this week the Five of Cups upright. So once again, this topic of many eras coming to an end, a topic of many deaths, a division of worlds, and many transitions is really coming on home to you, Leo people. And what I'm seeing here, it's the end of things that have maybe been prolonged beyond their organic lifespan, things that should not have necessarily been still in your reality experience, or things that do not belong there anymore and should have been let go ages ago, whether let go by you or other people. This week, because of so much positivity flowing in with that astrology, yeah, we've got to let go to understand that those eras, those trends, those stories, those chapters, those orders are over. And with that, you're going to have to own where you might have prolonged a trend or played part in something that did extend something beyond its natural lifespan and made it actually something unhealthy. Or maybe we have to see where we've been living in denial or taking things too slowly. Because the Five of Cups always offers the replacement. It always offers the new era. It always offers the promise of better times, better situations, better atmospheres, better environments. We just have to understand the dangers and toxicity of fixation, attachment, and, allow ourselves to own where that must be purged from our space. Even as we get into your material shift when it comes to your work, your job, your finances, anything to do with your practical affairs, you have the Knight of Swords upright. And you do have, I feel like it might be, I'm not sure if this is one person or maybe just a big sweep going on all throughout your professional and financial life. You have the Knight of Swords coming and actually escorting, carrying you even to this next era, this new chapter in your work life, in your financial life. You might even be getting up on his horse, and he's just kind of taking you there. With the Knight of Swords, we see that there is someone or something coming that is, of course, working with us and for us for our highest good. It may be feeling a bit fast. It may feel a bit jarring. It may feel a bit scary because, again, it's the end of a trend. It's the end of an era in your field, in your office, maybe even an end of an era as it comes to your financial sensibilities. But the Knight of Swords already knows where you go next, to get that level up, get that promotion, step into that new way of life that is actually way more abundant, way more secure, and way more fulfilling. A lot of you may be finding that there are transitions getting put on the table that you are getting really more than nudged to go and accept or consider, even things that are getting brought to you to consider that you haven't been looking for. There is a feeling of loss of control with this coming through, but I don't see it as a bad loss of control. But it might feel very uncomfortable because you might be losing control because a certain script, a certain process, procedure, order of operations is gone, right? It's dead, end of an era. And you are going to have to learn to do your work, your life's work, your job, and your whole financial or material world in a way that might be a bit alien to you. But with the Knight of Swords, you have this help, you have this assistance to get acclimated, to get comfortable, and get elevated, promoted, and lifted up at the same time. So, shake off any need to feel, shake off any urge to try and, again, hold on to things that are past their due to go. As we get on to your community, friends, maybe relatives, other people in your life, you do have the Nine of Swords upright. And I feel like with all of these breakthroughs coming on, the Nine of Swords is indicating that a lot of you might actually be having to deal with folks who are not transitioning very well. The Nine of Swords, I feel as though you're going to be dealing with a friend or a relative who's going through a lot of the same stuff as you, but they are digging in their heels. They're just not embracing any kind of shift. And the Nine of Swords, I feel like it could be, them going through their own anxiety, their own pain, again, their own fear of something that could be good for them. But I'm also seeing with the Nine of Swords that this friend or this relative may also be freaking out because there is something getting exposed about them. There is something getting exposed around something that they've actually done or maybe didn't do, misrepresented about themselves. I don't think it's the end of the world, but with the Nine of Swords, yeah, I feel like they are having to deal with the monkey on their back that they've been trying to hide from other people. This may be a tough week for them, and it may be a tough week for you because you might not necessarily know how to be there for them or how to help them. It might not be something that you can help. I feel like they have to walk through that fire. Everyone is getting taken out of their familiar territory for a reason, but what is revealed as that space is getting cleaned out is different for everybody. Send love, send healing, send support, but at the same time, urge them to go through this process. As we get on to your challenge this week, you do actually have the Two of Wands upright. And this week, this is where a lot of you Leo people are probably going to need to work to make sure that as you go through all of these big turns, people are on the same page with you. Okay, because with the Two of Wands, I am seeing that you may have to clarify some things or maybe even have to own up to some things. Not like you've done anything necessarily nefarious, but own up to some things that may have fortified illusions, delusions, or denial in other people. Because when people project, they can lead themselves on. And when people project their own issues, their own story in a universal way, they can lead themselves on. And you may find that maybe that's a big part of that Nine of Swords upright. You might actually be kind of, bringing a reality check to somebody who didn't want it. The Two of Wands, however, is also indicating that another challenge that you're going to need to also face is that you've got to be willing to accept and partner up with a lot of the new partnerships, whether they are evolving out of existing friendships and connections, or maybe they are coming from new people as well. You have to accept this sort of new support system that's coming in around you, right? Venus in the 8th house. You have to be able to accept that your world is changing. It's transmuting into something bigger. So we want to make sure with the Two of Wands that we're also engaging with the folks that are engaging with us, and make sure that we're not necessarily making them wait or putting them on hold or, again, trying to hold on to anything from the past that's not applicable to this experience, because they're not going to be able to do anything there. As we get on to your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you do have the Five of Swords in reverse. And I am seeing the end of an unpleasant era also coming through when it comes to love and romance, because with the Five of Swords reversed, I'm actually seeing peace being made, peace being established, especially in an area of your love life where maybe there has been a lot of maybe tension, dysfunction, or, things going out of sync in such a way that we've been kind of fighting, butting heads. This could also be bringing peace to old issues, especially where you might be kind of feeling a person is not necessarily working for peace, working to, because some people, if they're in like a wounded, toxic feminine or wounded, toxic masculine place, sometimes they don't let things come to peace. They kind of derive a sense of artificial reality from letting the controversy or the dysfunction be normal. You are going to be finding that all of that is getting cleared away this week. And with the Five of Swords reversed, we could be making peace with even outstanding issues existing in a current partnership or with an ex. And as this goes on, you're also going to find that the clearing of all of this is actually sort of clearing a bit of a, I guess you could say, a karmic plate that is allowing for, you know, a new chapter to begin in an existing romance, or a new person to show up as well that has nothing to do with the story you lived with in the former, or with the former story, or with the former partner. So that is what I've got for you, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.